Welcome back, everyone, to Heroes and Brews with Nerdy Dudes, and we're going to touch a little bit on Justice Con, which was a part of, I believe, the Comic-Con series this past weekend, well, 2 weekends ago when you're watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we had interviews with Ray Fisher, we had
Mm-hmm.
interviews with Zack Snyder, and Kev, do you want to tell the people a little bit about what happened?
Sure, man. So I got a chance to watch both interviews. I know there was more than just them. There were some other personalities that they had interviewed, but these two were ones that stuck out to me that I really wanted to see because I kind of heard some buzz about these two particular interviews. The first interview I watched was with Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in Justice League, who was personally one of my favorite parts of Justice League. Was not a fan of the movie, like I know I've said before, but Ray Fisher to me really stuck out, and I wanted so much more from him. I just feel like there was just so much they didn't tap into, and I'm hoping with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out next year that I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. And apparently Zack Snyder really wanted Cyborg to shine in Justice League. He really wanted him to be like the central character, which was really interesting. So the interview was great. What a professional, charismatic person. It was just really enjoyable to listen to him talk and his thoughts on things. And, of course, people did bring up the whole controversy with Joss Whedon and what's going on with that. And he handled it in a very classy way. You could see he was kind of getting emotional about it. It's still an ongoing thing, and whatever happened, I'm sure will come out eventually. And he had mentioned that there were other personalities on set with him that have stuck by his side and said if he needs anything to let him know. And he was just basically like, I'm not sure what this is going to do for me in my career, but I'm going to stand by what I believe in. And, that's how I was raised. That's how I grew up. And I just feel like I have to do the right thing here, which I really admire. Because I remember reading this story and then to finally hear him address it and talk about it. Of course, he couldn't really go into much detail. But it was just a really great interview. So anybody out there, who enjoyed Cyborg's performance in Justice League, I recommend watching this interview. It was just very, very interesting. I mean, he touched on a lot of different things. It wasn't just about the Joss Whedon stuff, but his love and praise for Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's vision, and just Zack Snyder giving him this fantastic opportunity. He went into all that.
Well, if you think about it, within Justice League, Cyborg being the infused with the Mother Box, right? He should have been on the forefront of this, attack from, Steppenwolf / Darkseid kind of invasion. It made no, I felt like everything he did was brief, like you said, and they didn't really give him in my opinion, the airtime that he deserved. Cyborg is a very complex character. There's a lot to him, especially with his dad, his origin story when, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they went by it in the movie, where, the explosion killed his mother, and they, had to piece him back together, and the only way to do that was with this alien technology. So, that in itself is a very, it's a very interesting story, because you have this guy getting taken over by this alien technology that's keeping him alive, and you have this robot side fighting the human side of him, and that's something that really, should be pushed forward in the new Justice League. In the Snyder one, I believe they will do that. And
I think so too.
I don't think, as it pertains to ruining his career, about talking about the Joss Whedon stuff, because he's a big fan of Snyder. Snyder's a big fan of him. And if this stuff gets, the the Snyder cut becomes, popular and highly acclimated, I think we're gonna see more of him, of Ray Fisher as Cyborg, maybe more Ben Affleck as Batman. I think we're gonna see some kind of ball rolling to get back towards the Snyderverse Justice League. Maybe not movies, maybe it's with, HBO Max series, but I think if it's done right and people enjoy it, I think we're going to see a lot of these characters come back to life.
Absolutely, man. Something else interesting about that interview was when they were doing a lot of the Comic-Con appearances and other interviews. I saw Ray Fisher with a Borg Life t-shirt on. And at the time, I was just kind of ignorant and naive and just thought, oh, it's just kind of like marketing. He's playing this character. He wants people to get pumped about this character that maybe not the whole, the people that are not, necessarily comic book readers and familiar with the character of Cyborg. This is their way of like, who is this character Cyborg? What's this Borg life thing? Blah, blah, blah. He went into what that actually means. And it was awesome. It was eye-opening. So the meaning behind Borg life, it was him and someone else had come up with this concept. And basically it meant making a negative situation into a positive. And what he meant by that was, and not just this, it could pertain to all different kind of negative situations, but, Cyborg as being I guess, I don't know if this is the right word, but a handicapped superhero in a way. He said that he had a lot of individuals coming up to him at Comic-Cons and other kind of conventions who were handicapped and just said they really admire the character of Cyborg, what he means for and what he means for people like them, and just taking their situation and doing something positive with that.
Yeah,
where others might just kind of, I can't accomplish anything because of this and this. I thought that was really awesome. And like knowing that, I love him even more.
If you think about it, right, when it comes to prosthetics and people who lose limbs, you need prosthetics to, using a robotic hand, or, I'm not sure what else, people who can't afford the robotic stuff. It's like, I'm forgetting the name of the material. I forget. But it's, for him as a hero and his story, he has these robotic limbs because he lost, or, they were so severely damaged, his human limbs. So he does have to rely on that kind of, technology to help him overcome what he's gone through. So, it is very motivating and inspirational, which I understand completely. I think I saw a few things when he was doing cons during Justice League that a lot of people, with handicaps were, reaching out and, saying, hey, this is very inspirational. Like, this character's awesome. And he is, because he overcomes a lot, especially for someone who should have died, but now has a whole new alien entity, making sure he stays alive as like a computer robot type person. Yeah.
And I never thought of it like that. I think it's so important, especially for superheroes and or not for superheroes, but for people to
relate in a way like that.
Yes. Thank you. Like, this superhero is just like me. And I never thought of Cyborg as someone that could represent, a population of people who were handicapped.
Because he's a supercomputer,
Yeah,
but
I never thought of that.
But in a normal sense, the robotic side of the mother box, fixed his handicaps. Because without the mother box, without the robotic pieces of him, he's A, dead, or B, can't use most of his body parts.
Yeah. It's a really fascinating interview, man. I really, really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed his message and his attitude towards everything. So I definitely recommend the Ray Fisher interview. And then the Zack Snyder interview, I wrapped it all up with. And Zack Snyder is the coolest dude in the world. I don't know, man. I know there's been numerous times on our show, on our podcast, that I have maybe torn into Zack Snyder.
Yeah, we've knocked him a few times, especially with the way he's taken, his look on the DC universe, because there's some things we agreed with, a lot of things we disagreed with. But, when you have this Josh Whedon Justice League come out, you start to appreciate, the things he was actually doing and molding towards. So, we'll admit when we're wrong.
Yeah, I'll admit it. Yeah, and here's the thing: is it's all subjective, and we're all fans and passionate about it. So, no matter who you are and where you come from, there's some things you're gonna like. There's some things you aren't gonna like. So, and I'm not digging into Zack, Snyder and like tearing him apart like he's not a good person. It's just, hey, there's certain things that I love and enjoy, and he tried to do his best with, telling his story with these characters that we love, and maybe it didn't come across the way that I was hoping it would. But that's just the way of the world. That's how it is. But after seeing this interview and hearing his point of view and how passionate he is about each and every one of these characters, and discussing how all these characters that he's working with, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, they're bigger than any of us. And these characters obviously have lived for decades and are going to continue to live for decades with the other directors and writers that, rewrite and redraw. He just wanted to tell his story. He had a story in mind. He had a story arc, and it just sounds like, fortunately, the studio got involved, hacked it up. There was other situations that happened, personal family stuff that happened with him, that caused him, he felt it was the best nature of for him and his family to step away. And I think we all know that story. And if you don't, look it up. It's very, very tragic and sad. I'm just glad that he gets to come back and finish his story. I mean, this is unbelievable. I've never heard this before in Hollywood. Anything like this ever happening. So that's another great interview. He is just a cool as shit dude. I mean, he's just talking like he's just one of us, man. I mean, there's F-bombs flying. He's a guy I would love to sit and talk to, like, just about this, because you can tell his enthusiasm, his passion for these characters. He loves the epicness, the just being able to create certain scenes for these characters. He talked about Batman v Superman, and just looking back and watching some of these fight scenes between them, and just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Like, this is unbelievable. Watching that just kind of humanized him in a way where I didn't think of him as like Zack Snyder, the director. I thought of him as Zack Snyder, just a human being like you and I. Awesome interview. It was really well done. I forget the girls' names that did it. I tried to look up their channel. All I could find was the Justice Con stuff. If they have a YouTube channel, I'm sorry, I would love to promote it. But they did a fantastic job with both Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, it's, a nod for Snyder to be able to finish his cut. I think everyone's excited. And even if it doesn't turn out good, we still get to see what his vision was. And I think that's pretty cool because it'll stick to the darker, grittier side of what his movies were, instead of the joking around Batman making one-liners and just listen. I did enjoy Justice League. I think there were parts where the comedy worked, but there was also areas where it did not work. I don't want to see Batman joking around on the battlefield. I could care less about that. That's not who he is, to me at least. Flash, fine. Cyborg, yes. Wonder Woman, it seems more serious to me. Clark, he was in it for a little bit. He comes back, and you said it best. I think what you said, Snyder said, like, he shouldn't come back in like a funny way. Was it? What did he say again?
Something like, I don't know. He said that the executives, were kind of on his case about bringing him back in the black suit as opposed to the red and blue suit, and that it should almost be like funny, like hilarious, like when he comes back, and he's like someone coming back from the dead should be funny. I'm not following here. Like, I'm following like comic book continuity. I'm doing something that's been seen in comics, and people understand that. And he had this whole idea of Superman's arc, and him being resurrected and coming back with the black suit and almost like earning his stripes again, so to speak, and getting that red and blue suit again was part of this arc that he's had since Man of Steel. Like, Zack Snyder had a whole plan in place, and it just got butchered.
And we saw a clip of, Clark coming down into the Batcave and seeing Alfred with the black suit on.
Yeah, so I think in that interview he actually talks about, because they had asked him, he had his team tweak the color of the suit. So Henry Cavill was actually in the red and blue suit, and they did a color correction and made it black and gray.
Nice.
Instead of having him in a black and gray suit. And I think he did that because he was getting shit from Warner Brothers, like, don't do that. And he was like, well, just change it real quick and let's see what happens. So that's what that is. But it still looks legit. I mean, it doesn't, you can't tell. That,
no, you can't.
Really was in suit. So I don't know which ones I guess he's going to go with the black and gray because it's his now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got full say.
Yeah, so like I guess that's what we're gonna get. Super pumped for this, man. This interview got me so much more excited, and I think because he's so excited, like you can tell he just wants to like say so much shit. He did say that at this DC fandom that's coming out in August, we should be getting a teaser trailer for his Justice League, which they're not sure of the name just yet. I don't know if it's going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I think sounds kind of cool. And I don't think the name really, either way, it doesn't really matter, as long as the movie's good. But should be getting a teaser, man, and that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of cool things looking forward to with, Snyder, his cut, and maybe future, spin-offs with that. It might not be, in the movies, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, we still got them. Who knows if Ezra Miller will ever have a Flash movie? Because how many times has that been? Gonna happen, canceled. Gonna happen, canceled. Gonna happen, canceled. So I mean, never know.
Why has no one talked about that crazy video that surfaced of him? Like why? Like no one said anything about that. Is it real? Like he hasn't said anything. Like, oh my god, it's like a friend of mine. Like. It's just so bizarre.
There's too much in the world going on right now, Kev. Can't worry about Ezra Miller choking a girl out or not, or if it was real or not.
That's what you and I are concerned about. But what about the girl that's choked by Ezra Miller? Is there going to be a Flash movie? Everybody's like, we're trying to rid the world of a pandemic right now. And we're like, yeah, but the Flash film, it's been postponed.
Yeah, no, it's been canceled then on again, and canceled then on again.
What the heck?
Kev, I texted you 18 times. Every time I saw a news article saying the Flash movie is now canceled. The Flash movie with Ezra Miller is back on. The Flash movie with Ezra Miller is canceled. And I'm like... just cancel it. Sorry, I just spit everywhere. Cancel it until you know. Because then, if you know, you can say, oh, we're doing this. If you don't ever come back to it, it's already canceled.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I still don't think it's going to happen. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, especially with what's going on and movies that were already filmed, they're postponed and you can't even risk filming things, even though some movies are back filming. It's just, who knows, man.
Depends on the state, I guess.
That's what I mean. It just doesn't feel like a done deal, confirmed. Glitch. I don't know. That's another mystery. We'll be talking about that for a while.
Yeah, we'll go into that another time. But thank you for watching. Give us your thoughts on if you've seen Justice Con and their interviews, what you thought, what you think about, the Snyder Cut coming to an HBO Max near you on May 2021, hopefully, as long as it doesn't get delayed.
Is there a day? Or it's just May 2021?
No, May 2021.
There's no set date or anything.
No.
I guess because they don't know whether they're going to do a television series or a multiple part series or
a limited time series event. Yeah, we can call it.
Yeah, that sounds better. What you just said.
Yeah, I know. I try. Sometimes my words make sense, and I seem like I am smart.
Yeah, I butchered that. Sure.
But as always, thank you for watching. Kev.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.